So day two?
Day two. What was it
Day two,
like?
bro. So day two, I'm like, okay, we have to crush it.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I always go all the way in the back, and in the back are some amazing booths. But guess what's in the back? There's Chopard. There's Tudor. There's Rolex. Patek Philippe.
Yeah.
And deliberately, right? So to go back in there and to get the 4 big ones, how cool is that, right?
Rolex definitely was viral this year.
Yeah, it was viral. I mean, is it never not viral in your opinion? I mean,
True.
And what did you think of the releases?
I was a big fan of the Land Dweller. I, as you know, maybe got into watches a little bit recently, maybe a year and a half ago, and one of the very first watches that I ever actually spent my hard-earned money on was a Tissot PRX.
Nice.
Now, that integrated style bracelet is, of course, very popular back in the 70s. The Land Dweller, based off the oyster quartz, naturally has that same design, so I'm a sucker for it. You know?
Yeah.
It spoke to me, and it's something I wish I can add to my collection later in life.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to handle that piece?
Yeah, I did, and the displays at Rolex were first class. You know, the outside of the booth, just like Patek and all of them displays all of their items, but the inside they had open glass, so you weren't supposed to touch it. I saw it from somebody else, not there, but it was open, so you could get amazing photos. And you know, my first reaction on the Land Dweller, you know, I'm like, oh, which I love AP. I love all brands, but I was like, oh, it seems a little bit like AP, and then I'm like, you know what? Come on, the only thing constant in life is change. So let me just absorb it. They couldn't be more masters of their product line and marketing. So I'm like, they got to be knowing. So after a couple hours, I really warmed up to it. And those of you who have heard me before, you know, I love precious metals. Who doesn't love platinum or white gold or rose gold or red gold or yellow gold? But I also just have been in love with stainless because you don't overpay. You see the watch and it's like pure basic, beautiful form, and less people are having stainless, you know, movements. And so I love that you can get the movement in that. So I saw in the display window the Land Dweller just in the stainless also version as well. And I was blown away at it. I thought it didn't over accentuate the honeycomb face coming off the display. And everybody, I'm usually, you know, I'm Mr. Tiffany blue guy, so I'm always like Tiffany blue, 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 blue. But I thought the blue was really powerful, almost overpowering. So it's still beautiful, but I'm just saying if the blue version was great, the stainless was fantastic. You know, and that new bracelet, I mean, you loved it, right?
Loved it. It looked to be a Jubilee style bracelet, but flattened.
Yeah.
Gave it a touch of modernness to it, which I really liked.
I did too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great. I thought
invisible clasp as well.
Oh, the invisible. Yeah.
That.
I mean, let's talk. That's like more of a presidential clasp, right? You know, day date. And
exhibition case back.
Exhibition case back, and the way it wears real thin on the wrist, and the smoothness and the roundness. So I think it's going to be a really attractive watch for ladies and gentlemen, both. And I think it's going to be just a massive home run. And I believe the stainless is like 15. The retail cost is like what, 15,000?
Yes, 13 to 15,000 for the stainless steel. And then there was Ever Rose, and then of course platinum. They actually did something that I never really see from Rolex. They leaked the image from one of their ambassadors, Roger Federer. Now that's kind of a page out of someone else's playbook, such as Tudor or Omega. Did you see it in person first, or did you see it on Roger Federer's wrist?
I saw it in Roger Federer's wrist, and I thought, hey guys, good, how you doing? And I thought it was just great. I thought that he and others are such great brand ambassadors that it couldn't be anything other than fantastic, right?
Any other releases from Rolex that kind of caught your eye?
Well, you know, I'm going to save my favorite for last, but did you like the new GMT?
I did. It was a mixture of like a sub-Hulk with Sprite, of course.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, me too. And I love the new GMT, and I thought, you know, I'm a big OP41, as you know, color dial fan, and so they had, I believe, 3 new color dials, and they were all pretty darn good, but the like the lavender I thought was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like that?
I did like it. 36 millimeter?
Yeah, and I believe, maybe I'm wrong, didn't they come in 41?
Yes, and also there was like a pistachio one as well. Very nice pastel coloration.
Yeah.
Going to be very, very popular.
I think so too. I mean, there's other beautiful releases on Rolex, and I don't have my hat yet. They're coming. So I would have co-branded right now to give them a little tip of the hat, as we say.
Yeah.
But let's go to the star, one of the stars of the show besides the Land Dweller. And okay, a Tiffany blue in an Oyster Flex Daytona. Come on, really? Right?
Yeah. I know that's what you're after. I know that's you right there.
And I will say this: if it looked great in the yellow gold version, I think it's going to look fantastic in a white gold or platinum because I like, not a massive. I like clean colors in the same line. So if it was just black Oyster Flex strap with a white gold or platinum, and then the other black features, and then just the Tiffany blue pops through, or the turtle, the tortoise blue. What did you think of it, though? Home run?
I love it. What do you say to the people that say Tudor and Rolex are late to the party in terms of introducing these Tiffany style colors? Years after its popularity, a few years ago, everything was that Tiffany color. What do you say to the people that say we're late to the party?
Well, I mean, okay, so let's break it down. So Rolex has one of the legendary Tiffany in the OP41. They discontinued it, so I'm thrilled. Thank you. I have one, and it's so valuable too. It shot through the roof in the secondary market. So to have a piece that's $6,500, $7,000, and it's worth so much, but I think it's like $25,000, in the secondary market. But they still make the 36. So I think Rolex has been doing it a reasonable amount of time, not as early. But let's face it. So on Tudor, okay, if we're talking Tudor, okay, so now we'll co-brand. So now we're on the Tudor hat. So if Tudor. I mean, were they late? Well, the pink was a home run, the Black Bay Chrono last year. So at least they got in the game and did it right, and everybody went crazy because they co-branded it off the team, right?
Yeah.
So is it really late, or is it smart marketing because Tudor is Rolex, right? And they don't have a 41 pink, and last year they did the pink in the Black Bay Chrono, so it really supported the family pedigree of the 36 OP in Rolex, right?
Correct. I agree with you on that one.
Do you agree?
And you just recently picked up the Flamingo Blue Tudor.
I did.
Been on a roll.
I am out of my mind. When you're not a good 3-point shooter and you made a couple, and you're going to run out of gas.
And one.
Yeah, and you know what? Because I am the most grateful guy. I'm like, thank you, God, I did it. I did one. Probably won't be able to do another. So between the Zenith, white gold, rainbow, between the Tudor, Back Bay Chrono Blue, and now the FP Journe Vertical Tourbillon Black Edition is just, what can I say? I hope I don't run out of gas for the next 5 years, right? Right?
Did the Flamingo Blue make it back to the motherland? Did you get a chance to take it over?
It did, and we double wristed, and we did pink and blue.
Did people prefer the pink or the Flamingo?
65-70% were blue,
okay,
but a solid 30-35 were like, I like the pink.
Cool.
What's your you're a Tudor expert.
The pink takes the cake for me a little bit more, just because it's their motto is born to dare. It's very daring. Pink, a big pink watch. A Flamingo Blue is just more photogenic. So for me, the pink takes the cake a little bit.
Yeah,
that's the one to start the craze originally for Tudor. So I like the pink. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Anything else on Rolex or Tudor? Because they were just Tudor's killing it. I mean, I'm so impressed. It was such a great quality watch, and a couple of the other new releases. Any of the other new releases that you like this year?
Also, now that we're on Rolex, they actually had a GMT with a Tiger Iron dial.
Oh my God! What are we thinking?
Did you remember that one?
Okay, what are we thinking?
That's the one that stood out to me, at least.
Okay, thank you for the save. He saved it at the buzzer.
That's the one that stood out to me.
The Tiger, I saw it, I believe it was in two metals. I believe it was it rose gold, and I believe, or was it two-tone also? I'm not sure if it was in two, but I saw it in one, and it was a home run. That Tiger, like two-tone, like yacht wood was incredible, right? I thought it was great. What did you think? I thought that was a 10 out of 10, right?
I also think it was a 10 out of 10. Rolex, they knocked that out of the park this year, for sure.
They did, and the economies, people are much more concerned. Spending is a little bit, for many brands and for clothing and fashion is much more sideways and down. So people are being cautious. They want to buy what they love. They want to wear it, and they want to have some good value. And so I thought some people didn't go, bat SHIT crazy on everything, right? But there was some big pieces and models out by people like the Ruby FP Jordan that came out. But most of all, everything was solid. So I thought Rolex was very commensurate in what they released, And I thought Tudor did great. But the price point on Tudor, I think, is fantastic, right? Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, you get a lot more watch than what you pay for sure. And very exciting to see Tudor coming out with a bunch of things. I heard there was a screen with a countdown timer for Tudor.
Yeah.
There's another release, it seems.
Yeah.
May 4th. We're excited to see what
Absolutely.
Tudor comes out with.
Any guesses?
I would think it's around Formula One stuff, just because the decor around it, the hint was towards Formula One. We'll see. We'll see what is so special that it has to wait a month after Watches and Wonders.
Yeah, and if you want, we can take it out of order. I mean, Formula One. I mean, for TAG to be usually previously, the timing mechanism for Formula One, and then Rolex, as you know, had it for such a long period of time, and then now, TAG has it back again.
Yes.
And TAG, I went in the booth. TAG under with LVMH, and leading. So now you see at Formula One, you have Moet and Hennessy Champagne. You have the incredible Louis Vuitton signs at the F1 tracks. To have each F1 race cups in a piece of Louis Vuitton luggage. And we went there for a private appointment too.
Yeah.
And they came out with an F1 display box for all the watches.
Okay.
So you can get like 10 or 12 watches.
What does the box look like?
I saw.
Must be carbon fiber or something.
It's pretty cool, and the watches were not crazy money. I'm not exactly sure on the price. I was told the price, but it looked really good. But they're also doing some crazy one-off collaborations.
I see.
So you can actually order a super crazy watch and customize it, and we're talking over $100,000 range. That's the kind of stuff they're doing, but they're kicking their game up.
Yeah, I know they just released a new rendition of the Formula One.
Yep.
This time it's a solar graph.
Yep.
What do you think about that piece? I believe it retails for $1,800. Is that money well spent?
For $1,800, it's a fair price point. Is it money well spent? If you love it, yes, and you're going to wear it, yes. If you're hoping it's going to double or triple, don't buy for that in this market like that. All of us, if you really want to buy something and then it's going to become more valuable, and we should probably touch on it right now also because it's a perfect time, then you can. But what I'm saying to touch on right now is that with the tariffs coming in potentially all over, you could be seeing big watch price increases on imports coming in from Geneva. So a lot of them are bringing in pieces right now. So it's prior to tariff.
I'm glad you brought this up.
But so it is possible that secondary market for cars, wine, watches, things of value go way up because people know buying pre-owned or secondary market, you're not getting those massive other fees, right? So I'm glad we touched on that because that's on a lot of people's minds. Because can you imagine you're saving up and you have an amazing piece, and let's say you saved, or you have a business or a college graduation, you got a $10, $20, $30,000 watch, and all of a sudden, you're tacking on another $1,000 or more in there. That's a lot of money. Or imagine tacking on $9,000.
I hear around 30% from random people.
Right, so $30,000, you got $9 more grand. That's a lot of dough.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dough. So that's something I'm glad we touched on. So for $1,500 or $1,800, if that's in your price point, you can afford it and you love it, and you're not worried about making money. Cool. If you're like, hey, I want something I know it's going to hold value or appreciate, then let's talk. You could get a nice Rolex sub pre-owned that's in mint, excellent condition, or something that is not going to go down. Like if you can get a Tudor blue or pink at cost at the boutique, if you can get something, it's going to hold.
Okay. Right now's the time to buy.
I think this is the time, as I mentioned, stocks, watches, art, bonds, cars. It's a time to buy up because things haven't quite settled all the way to the bottom yet. So if you're a collector and you have other stuff and you did well on them, or you're willing to take a little bit of a loss, if you have the guts, I always buy up in a tough market because then you get the piece of a lifetime, right?
Right.
And that's what I think is important. Like like my, I forgot on my, even though we'll cover it later, on my other wrist is the RM30 factory rose gold titanium with black diamonds on the side and, you know, open skeleton.
Yeah. What grade titanium is this?
You know, I don't think it's NTPT, but I'll check on it for our viewers, and we'll pop it on the screen. But this thing runs like 220 or 210, 220 at the boutique. I got it new for 170, and last year at Watches and Wonders, I had people 350, 375, 400, 410 trying to take it off my wrist. You know, so I still think this is getting 260 to 290, 275 to 300.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying there's always a watch, right, that you
yeah.
can do well on. I'm sure you could rattle off a couple if your viewers want that.
Wow.
You know?
When a new watch comes out, what is the material you kind of want it to be made of? When your ears perk up, what material are you a sucker for in terms of watch? Is it platinum? Is it gold, yellow gold?
It's a great question, and it's a tough one. It's like you love all your children, right?
Yeah.
So
what's your material?
Okay, one or two. If you're going super bougie, I mean, platinum is so heavy and so impressive, and we'll talk a little bit about, because Chopard had a new platinum release that you had arthritis when you put it on because it was so awesome and it weighed so, it was so massive. Just like the new 1-2 series Platona, the Rolex, you know, ice blue platinum Daytona, you know, with baguette. I mean, that thing is so heavy. It's so impressive. But I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan now of stainless, always, and I love it. But if you said you have to pick a precious metal, I would do yellow gold and then platinum I would do rose gold, and then I would do rose gold is also called red gold for other manufacturers, and then I would do platinum and white gold.
Okay.
You know, tied in that order.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I really like carbon composite at the moment.
You do?
Titanium is already light, but carbon composite is just... being in Orange County, you're surrounded by all these nice supercars, hypercars even, and you just always see carbon on it. Why not have it on your wrist and feel even more sporty? Yeah,
and light. I mean, it's so light. It's ridiculous how light. Richard Mille has an incredible, and you know who released a cool new carbon is Zenith. You know, I mean, so carbon's a real deal. I mean, that's a very specific material, but I think everybody was hitting it out of the park in that too.
Maybe even more durable too, just the fibers.
Yeah.